Hello guys, and welcome to episode 43 of Plum Labs across the Plum Labs series. So today's episode, guys, what are we going to be doing? Well, in the last 3 episodes, guys, you probably remember, we've been doing a little bit of Thorncraft actually, and if I'm honest, I kind of want to give Thorncraft a little bit of a break for the time being at least. You know, not because Thorncraft's like a horrible mod or anything, I just kind of want to delve into a few different kind of routes and stuff, since I think we've kind of gone down. Obviously, Thorncraft is, you know, magical-based mod. We've kind of been doing that for a little bit now. But if I'm honest, I'm thinking I kind of want to branch out and do some other cool and nifty things. And if I'm honest, I think souping up Plum Labs a little bit more is going to be the priority for this episode. Since if I'm honest, we have a pretty cool reception area. Well, I say pretty cool. It's pretty bare at the minute. But all we really have, I mean, I'm literally sleeping in the actual reception area here, so it's not really you know, it's not, you know, looking very laboratory like at the minute. I mean, obviously it's got this sort of, you know, really nice, almost kind of marbly looking walls and stuff, and I kind of like the sort of brushed white finish that we kind of have going on. But if I'm honest, I'm just really not a big fan of the fact that it's all bare white and there's nothing that distinguishes any of the rooms at the minute. So you're probably looking, while I was looking in here, in fact I was looking at wool, and if I'm honest, I don't know where to use wool to actually distinguish the colour. So I might have, say, like a green trail going here, like a sign saying the agricultural area. We can have like the magical area here, be all like purple and stuff. The basement, I think I'm kind of happy with the sort of theme we've got going on at the minute, this kind of sort of grey theme that's going on. And obviously we've kind of broken up a bit with the factory blocks. Like also the blue ones and sort of the maybe sort of turquoisey ones, I want to say, that we've got on the wall, and so obviously sort of the grey steel hexagonal plating on the floor. Obviously the compact machines room can stay orange. I mean, we've kind of gone with that theme already, with the fact that we've got all these lamps and stuff, and you know, obviously compact machines, it does give up this kind of orange cube anyway. But yeah, I think this episode, I think we should make Plum Labs just concentrate on making it look a little bit cooler. So I'm trying to decide on a material to actually use to distinguish all the colours and stuff. Now I could use something like wool if I wanted to. I could use terracotta maybe, although I don't actually have any terracotta, although it's pretty easy to make it. It's literally just some smelted up clay. I could potentially use that. I could potentially use concrete if I wanted to. There's some ceramic blocks and stuff I can use. So there's a wide range of blocks that I can use for the colours and stuff. If I'm honest, there's one thing I kind of want to test actually. I don't think this is going to work, but I suppose we can give it a try, I suppose. Can I use chisel to chisel the wool into different colours? I don't think this is going to work, but we can always give it a shot. Yeah, so you can only chisel the wool into different patterns and stuff. You can't actually... I mean, I suspected it anyway, because it is a little bit cheaty if you could just do that, but... So, let's see, so if I look at green, what sort of green blocks can we use, guys? I'm thinking... wool is probably going to be our best option here. I mean, I don't really want to use something like slime or anything. I wanted something that would really give us a more sort of smoother finish. I was probably thinking I'm doing something like, because it's like concrete obviously would give us that kind of. It's just the fact that it's got that. It's got that texture to it. I'd want it to be a really smooth kind of texture. And you know, if I'm honest, I think wool is probably going to be our best bet. I mean, we have a lot of string by the looks. So we don't actually have too much actually. Is there any surefire ways of getting wool other than just using string? So we can use some stuff from Biomes of Plenty that I don't believe we actually have access to, and some woven cotton. Do we actually have any cotton? We have a little bit of cotton. So I think string is probably going to be our best bet, really, in terms of making the wool. So let's make as much wool as we can. So we can make about 15 blocks of it, and let's go and dye it. So purple dye. How does one make purple dye? So purple dye is, there's obviously a lot of different ways you can make it. So normal purple dye, you can just use something like lapis lazuli and red dye. So do we have any like rose red or anything? Can we use red orchids to maybe make the dye? I believe the last time we were doing the dye, we were using the dye machine that was down here. Yeah, so we've got the machine here, and we might actually be able to use the dye mixer actually. I'm tempted to do this rather than using lapis lazuli and rose red. I don't know. It's either that or we, you know, get sort of green and red stuff different ways. So I could potentially, like I said, I'm almost thinking terracotta might actually be the better solution rather than wool actually. It's either, like I said, it's either that or you use a completely different block each time. So for example, like for this I could use, say, nether bricks, for instance, for like a red themed room or something. Just for instance. Also, it's a red block. It's not necessarily what I'd be going for, but it just means I don't have to use a lot of dye and stuff. So what I'm going to do, guys, is I'm going to have a look at some blocks that I think I kind of like the look of, and I'll be right back once I have the solution. Okay, guys, we're back. So I've just made myself some dye and some signs and stuff. I think I know what my plan is going to be. So I'm going to get myself the cactus green dye out of the it's not even actually, it's a refined storage system, that's it. I was going to say apply the energetics then, but I'm like, I don't think I've used applied energetics since like 1.7.10. Ever since refined storage became a thing, I really haven't used it. So I think what I'm going to do is potentially stick myself some of these down. And you're probably wondering what the purpose of this is. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to essentially stick signs there, just telling people where to actually go. So if I put a sign up here, and I say so if I tell people that's the way to reception, and I put another sign over here telling people this is the way to reception, and then I don't know what I'll actually call it, so if I don't want to just call it the magic room. What can I call it? Could I call it like wizardry or something? Wizardry. I'm probably going to come up with some better names at some point for these. If you guys have any better names for the rooms, feel free to drop them in the comments, since wizardry, I'm not quite sure if I like that. And then herbology, maybe? So if I call this one herbology, probably, like I said, maybe not the best name, but it works. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to dye myself a little bit of wool. I'm going to get all the green wool I can. The purple, we're not going to need too much of it. I think if I then start digging up the floor here, I'm kind of concerned I may have left the mob spawner actually. I can hear a lot of mobs going on. I'm not sure if that is enough or whether to like continue it into the room or not. Obviously, we don't quite have enough of the cactus green dye to be able to make it sustainable for the whole room yet, but I mean, I think that small touch really does add to the room, but I'm not sure, like I said, if I want it to go all the way into the room or whether it to just be in the corridors. I don't know, I kind of like it in the corridors actually, although what I might do is I have it overhang by maybe like one block or something either side. I can't quite decide. I mean, personally, I think that is just a neat little touch, but it just being in the corridors. But, like I said, I may change it up just a little bit. But I think, personally, that is just enough to make the room look kind of cool. I mean, obviously I've put the window in here, so I'm not going to, continue this laboratory block. Because I was considering maybe having it go all the way along, but then I was like, I mean, it would just cover up the window, so I don't think it would look really cool in that case. I think, guys, I've figured out what I want to do next, and that is I want to build myself a bit of an extension to Plum Labs. I think we probably need an extra room, since we've now got herbology, we've now got a wizardry room. We haven't really got any room for any kind of experiments and stuff. I mean, I'm potentially considering sort of boxing this whole area in with the mob spawner in, so I can have ultimate control over it. If I might actually get on to doing that now, because what I'm thinking is possibly building on top of the mob spawner room, and then like expanding Plum Labs over here. So if I just say have, like say a room here where I can control the mob spawner or something, and I could say have a corridor that runs beside it, and then this is where I can also expand the Plum Labs over here. I mean, I'm gonna chop this tree down. I think it's been irritating me since I started chopping it down originally. I'm pretty sure this tree has been like this since episode 1 of Plum Labs, and I'm pretty sure that was well over a year ago now. So all of you guys that were really OCD about this and were like triggered the fact they left this tree here, there we go. We finally got around to removing it. Because yeah, I'm pretty sure this is where we started our Plum Labs adventure, then to settle on this little area over here to start building. So a sugar maple tree. I've not actually seen the sugar maple tree actually. Is that from? Oh, yep, from forestry. I figured. So what I'm gonna do is get myself some more of these laboratory blocks. So let's just get all the laboratory blocks we can, since we are going to go through quite a few. And we're probably going to need... I'm trying to think how to do this. So if I have this guy run like this, and... I'm tempted to have it run like through here maybe? So we have got pipes in the floor there, so maybe that isn't the best place to start knocking through. What if I knock it through, say, here? Okay, we've got cables. It's annoying because there's like cables running absolutely everywhere around here. So it does make it a little bit of a pain to actually start building. I don't really want to like knock through here. I mean, potentially I could, I guess. I could sort of knock a bit of a room here and then have the corridor run through here. Because I don't think here... Yep, I'm pretty sure... I mean, we'd have like a bit of pipe exposed that I could... In fact, I can probably fix it, actually. If I run the piping through here, that means we can then actually build the wall up. Yeah, so there you go. So we're not actually, it's not actually going to be an issue. I think if I knock... I mean, I'm not quite sure how cool this looks if I just say... cut a hole in the wall here and say have a corridor run. I mean... I don't know if I'm too hot for that or not, if I'm honest. I'm going to have to knock this wall through here. So then, as much as it's not entirely symmetrical, it does mean that this corridor becomes a 3x3. Which I think is kind of important, really. I mean, there's a couple of ways, obviously, I could do this. I don't, like I said, I don't think this is necessarily a horrible way of doing it. And then just say, I mean, I will need to move the travel anchor across. So if I put the travel anchor here, he will keep his configuration though, so don't worry. And then I integrate this guy like this. And I get this redstone lamp. And stick the lamp here. I think that looks kind of cool, actually. And then all I need now is my exchanger, really. So if I get my hardened exchanger, I can then plonk this guy down here. And providing I get the right material. Okay, we don't have the correct laboratory block. I believe it's the flat laboratory blocks for the floor. Yes, it is. So then if I do this, I can essentially run the exchanger. Or I can run a corridor around here. I mean, I'm going to obviously have it step up, so it's going to... I do need the actual tiled laboratory block, though. So if I run the tiled laboratory block here... Then along here, this gives me plenty of room to actually sort this guy out. So... I think what I'm obviously going to have to do is do a little bit of terrain management here, since obviously there is a lot of dirt and stuff in the way. So I think if I knock this through and maybe chase a few more pipes in and just, you know, make it look a little bit neater, I think this area could look pretty damn cool. What I'm going to do though is get myself, so I'm going to put all this stuff away, since this is going to really badly clog up my inventory, and just get some more laboratory blocks. Now laboratory blocks, obviously they're not that expensive, they're literally all just quartz and some stone here. And where is my chisel? So I'm going to need at least a couple of stacks of just the plain old white tiled laboratory blocks. And I think what I'm going to do is so all this wiring and stuff in here, obviously this could just be chased into the floor a bit further. So if I have the wall run here, this is not that much of an issue really, just to run the cable like that. So everything's still getting powered, you know, there's no actual issues or anything. And I think, yeah, so this is going to be the floor level. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to get my exchanger out real quick. I believe I've been a derp and put it away. Yes, I have. And this guy goes up to a 7x7 area. So if I do this with this guy, I think that looks pretty cool, actually. I think I've used the wrong laboratory block on the floor like a derp here. And yeah, what I think I'm going to do, guys, is I'm going to finish, well, not necessarily finish, but I'm going to do a little bit of work on this, since I think you guys aren't going to be too interested in just watching me build. And we'll be right back, guys, once I'm done. Okay, guys, so I'm just basically running the finishing touches on the room here. As you can see, I've basically just kind of had it as like a standalone building as such. I mean, obviously I'm going to, like, you know, change a few of the blocks around, because I don't really want that area to just exclusively just be cobblestone. It looks a little bit weird, so I think obviously I'm going to tweak that around a little bit. But if I'm honest, I can't say I'm overly disappointed with it, because I think I don't want to go for that really box standard everything has to be a square type thing, since I mean obviously this is Minecraft, you know, it's made of blocks, but when have you ever really seen a laboratory where everything is completely square in terms of the building structure? I mean, you never really ever see that, and that's kind of what I was sort of thinking when I was building this. I was like, you know what, I might as well to sort of build around it and have it look a little bit more natural rather than just being a massive sort of block building. And which I think is kind of interesting actually, since I know a lot of people, if they were undertaking this series, probably would have just made it as one massive building. So I don't know, I think I'm kind of happy with the fact that it's all gone different. Obviously I'm not going to keep this as cobblestone. The cobblestone was exclusively just a bit of a makeshift thing while I was building it, but obviously I'm gonna tweak this around just a little bit. So what I'm gonna do is, do I have any extra cobblestone for the roof? Obviously I'm gonna need some thickened glass and stuff. I figured out, I wouldn't necessarily show you all of the building, but I figured I might as well show you a little bit, sort of the end bit of the building, me kind of putting everything together really. So if I fill in this ceiling, obviously I'm going to put glass in eventually. Well, I say eventually, probably in the next minute or two. But I just, want to stick the actual roofing on first. So if I stick this guy in, obviously it's going to be very dark in here until we actually get some roof lighting. So do we actually have any of the... Is it thickened glass we used? Yeah, we just used thickened glass and extra utilities. So we do actually have quite a bit of thickened glass actually, so I'm glad we haven't got to go make any. And what I'm going to do here is, how long is this? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So it's 8 blocks along. And how many blocks? Okay, so it is basically in the corner. So what I might do here is place a couple of skylights there and here. And maybe a couple in this corner over here. Although what I might do for this one is something a little bit different. And what I might do is I might patch the corners up here. And yeah, I'll just go for that one. So I'll just go for one directly in the middle there. So I think it just looks a little bit better than the way it was going to be done before. I don't think we necessarily need any more than that really. I mean, we could probably add like a couple more. So maybe 1 or 2 here. Like I said, I'm not overly bothered about it being 100% symmetrical. And if I'm honest guys, I think that looks pretty neat. What I might do though is, rather than completely make this not cobblestone, I might just actually just get some chiseled cobblestone and make it look neat. Kind of like how we've done with the ceiling, because also that is just, just plain cobblestone now enough that we've got on the roof. But I've chiseled it so it looks a little bit nicer than just the plain old cobblestone texture. I don't want to use the big tiles of cobblestone, because I want to use something a little bit different. But let's have a look at what blocks we have available to us. I'm thinking maybe some nice cobblestone bricks. Like, not those bricks necessarily, but something kind of like these, like the braided cobblestone bricks maybe. Because I think... Yeah, I don't think that looks too bad actually. So what we're going to do is we're going to get this guy here. And we are going to stick it on 7x7. You know what? I think, as much as it's cobblestone, I think it looks kind of metallic in texture. Which I think really does look kind of neat actually. Like, I don't know what you guys think, but I'm pretty convinced this looks pretty sharp. Also, I'm going to have to go outdoors quickly to sort this out. So let's quickly nip outdoors and let's redo the roof on this guy. Okay, we're out of block, so not too much of an issue. Okay, oh, the completely wrong texture there. So it's the braided cobblestone. That is the one we want. So there we go. So let's get the cobblestone braids and let's fix this roof up just a little bit. Here we go. It's weird going in and out of range of the sound muffler, I must admit. Damn, we're out of blocks again. Crazy. Okay, and let's now get on with the side. And I believe that's basically the entire room done. Honestly, I think that kind of integrates really nicely with the rest of Plum Labs. Obviously, it looks a little bit weird with the fact the roof's raised, but obviously I wanted to, keep a fairly consistent interior roof height, rather than have it be all different sizes and stuff. But if I'm honest, yeah, I'm pretty happy with the way this has all gone, actually. Obviously in here, like, I have not really figured out what I want in here yet. I could probably use it to, if I say wanted to have some barrels and stuff to get all the mob drops and stuff, or maybe some dense storage units rather than pumping them all into the refined storage system. Maybe that'd be a kind of cool idea. But I think for now, what we're going to do is go ahead and get some signs and stuff. And I'm probably going to call, I don't know what to call it, mobology maybe? Because we're not strictly experimenting on them, we are literally just killing them. So it's not like we're necessarily, it's not necessarily mobology, but I don't necessarily just want to call it like mob slaughter. I think, well, let's go with mobology for now. I've put the signs the complete wrong way. Me being a derp. So this is reception. So that will be reception, and this will be mobology. And I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to get some... Do we have any red dye? I believe we could probably use redstone as the dye, actually. I mean, I'm sure I've seen redstone used as dye before. It's probably just my imagination. But I'm pretty sure you can use redstone to dye the wool. Can you use redstone? Okay, what I might have to do is just get some red flowers and just go on the hunt. So I think what I'm going to do, guys, is I'm going to go on the hunt for some red flowers and stuff. Do we have any beetroot? I don't have any beetroot by the looks of things, no. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go on the hunt for some red flowers, guys. Hopefully we'll be able to get some rose red dye. So I don't believe we have any rose red dye. I think I used I used the majority of it to make the purple dye. So yeah, I think I'm going to go on the hunt for some red flowers, guys, and we'll be right back. Okay, guys, I've found myself some poppies. So that literally was about 30 seconds between me cutting the video there. That was not a long time it took me to go and get some poppies. And we really do need to fill this in, though, because I must admit, this does look absolutely horrible from an outsider's perspective. They just come in and just see that complete monstrosity there. So these poppies, yep, I can turn them all into dye. And let's get a little bit of wool. I might as well just convert it all. And I think what I'm going to do here is have it kind of branch off like this. I'm tempted to have the red start there, so it kind of looks like it intercepts kind of thing. Yeah, I think that looks kind of cool. What I might do actually is put that purple there. There we go. So now because we'll obviously move the wall back. I mean, I'm tempted to sort of have it alternate like that, so it kind of goes like that to show that there's two rooms. So yeah, and then you can go, yep, that's for the purple route, and this is for the red route. Honestly, I think that looks kind of cool. I don't know if I necessarily like the fact that it steps up or not there. But if I'm honest, I'm pretty happy with what we've done this episode, guys. I mean, we probably are coming up to the wrapping up point, really. Just for that, I think I'm pretty happy with the progress we've made in this episode, actually. Obviously, before the episode, we didn't have this, this room's appeared this episode. We've got the mob room looks a lot nicer now. It's all integrated. We've got the signage and stuff. Honestly, I really think that Plum Labs is really, really starting to take shape, actually. I don't know about you guys, but definitely in my opinion, I'm pretty happy with the fact that we are making progress and making Plum Labs look like a lab, basically. I think next episode, I can fairly concretely say that we are probably going to expand this room a little bit more. Well, not necessarily expand it, but we're going to sort of branch off Plum Labs into some more rooms and stuff. Like, I think we've got like a room where we're killing mobs. We've got like a herbology room, which basically at the minute we are literally just using it as a farm. But we could potentially sort of, do some experiments and stuff, maybe even get some bees and stuff at some point. I know bees are like, I mean, they're a bit of a Marmite thing in the Feed the Bees community. Some people either love them, some people like really hate them. But if I might start getting into some bees and stuff. Do we have any drones or anything, or any bees? See, we do actually have we've got some rocky ones, but that's only really from the quarry. So what I might do at some point is go and get some bees and stuff. Since if I'm honest, I've not done bees for a good few years actually in Feed the Beast. And honestly, as much as they get a lot of hate, they are actually pretty cool in the stuff you can do with them. So thank you for watching, guys. Hope you've enjoyed. Goodbye from Boat and Plum. Built an empire.